Hi there, Vaiguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaiguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to a new video in the Getting Started with Notion series. Today we'll be talking all about formatting and making sure your pages look very nice and clean. Now this video is actually part of a full-length series on this channel of how to get started with Notion. We've already covered basic topics like page structuring and how to use basic tools within the app. And later on in the series, we'll be talking about things like databases, templates, and other fun stuff. But again, for today, we'll be talking about formatting and making things look nice. Be sure to follow along the whole series though, link down below in the description. Now in the last video of the series, we talked about making sub pages for my YouTube mission control dashboard over here. We created a bunch of pages with a bunch of content, and now what we're gonna do in this video is actually make this into a functional dashboard and make it look a lot nicer. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually organize all of these pages into a few different headings. So let me do that right now. The first one I'll be doing is for channel essentials. I'll be making this an H2, calling it channel essentials. Making another one for H2 and calling this one all things content. And the last one for H2 will be resources. And again, because Notion is built into a block system, I can just drag and drop all my sub pages underneath the correct heading. Now that I've organized my content in different headings and have all the pages organized below each correct heading, the next thing I want to do here is actually create two different columns on the page that'll help me make the page look a lot nicer. The goal here is to have all my content on the right side of the page and then put something very big and useful in the middle of the page on the left side, like a calendar. Let me show you how I do this. All I have to do now is create a blank block on the top of the page and then drag the channel essentials heading off to the right of it, very, very right. And you'll see a little blue highlight come up. That'll indicate you're moving something to the right side, making a new column. Let me let go. And now I have a new column on the page. And I can drag all the stuff that I put underneath that heading before, underneath this section. And I'll do the same thing for the rest of the page as well. Now that we have all the headings and subpages off to the right of the page, I want to put something more prominent on the left side of the page. And for me, that's my content calendar. I want to have my content calendar front and center on this dashboard. And I'll be talking much more about databases in a future episode of this series. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But for right now, all I want you to know is I'll be embedding that database into this page. Let me show you how I do that. I'll be pressing the slash key over here and I'll be typing in database. And then if I scroll through the list over here, there's a bunch of database options. What I want to do is click the option for create linked database. And when I do that, it'll let me search through my databases and I want to use the content calendar one. Now you see my database appear on the screen. This is all the different ideas I have for videos. But what I want to do is change this view to a calendar. And again, we'll be talking much more about this in a future episode. But for right now, just know you can embed other pages and other databases into a dashboard like this if you want to. And now I have this calendar on my dashboard page over here, my mission control, but it looks very squished and very cramped. I don't like that. So what I'll be doing now is turning this page into a full width page. By default, you'll see these giant white margins off to the left side of the page and the right side of the page. You can actually tell Notion that you want to take up the entire page. The way you do this is by going to the top right, the three dots, and changing the toggle for full width. Now you see the calendar is taking up the whole side of the page, and what I can actually do now is also adjust the column width as well by going to the column and finding this little line and just dragging it this way as well. And now we have a much more nicer looking mission control page with a nice calendar in the middle and also all of my channel essentials and assets on the right side. Very, very useful. But let's take this one step farther. Notion does actually allow you to add colors for text and backgrounds in the page. And I love doing this for headings especially. So what I'll be doing now is actually going to the channel essentials heading over here, clicking on the drag icon, again, not actually dragging it, but just clicking on the icon for it, and then going to the color option right over here at the very bottom. And now I can choose either a text color or a background color. And I want to make this a blue background. And now you'll see the background color of that has become blue, and I can actually highlight all of the text below it. And I'm going to do the same thing, click on this, and then change the text color to blue instead. So now I have blue text for all the links, and I have a blue heading. And for the next one over here, I'll be doing the same thing, but making this red. And the last one will be purple. Now again, this is not actually increasing the functionality of the page, it just looks a lot nicer now. I'm actually going to make this column a little bit smaller for the calendar so I have more readability for the headings over here. And the other thing I want to do, just for a little more division between the headings, is actually add a divider underneath each heading. So I'll press the Enter key to create a new block and type in / and then divide, and you'll see divider come up. And I'll be doing the same thing for each heading down below. And now we have a nice divider underneath each heading to make it look a little bit cleaner. Now those are the very basic tools for formatting. I want to emphasize there's no right or wrong way to do this. Again, everyone's Notion will look a little different, and these formatting tools, again, don't really add any functionality to your Notion workspace. They just make things look nicer. I'm showing you them right now because I wish I knew these things when I first started out. Just having tools to make things look nice will encourage you to play around with the app more and use it more. And colors and columns are a great way of doing that. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. That's it for basic formatting right now. We'll be doing much more fun stuff in the future episodes of this series. Things like databases, making templates, and actually using Notion to a more higher potential to increase productivity in your life. Check that out in the playlist right now, linked in the description below and also somewhere on the screen. I will see you in the next video.